What's up, YouTube? So in this video, I'm going to be giving my game day report for the Miami Dolphins versus Patriots game. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm still pretty sick. I just can't seem to shake this shit. It's been brutal, but it is what it is. But anyway, Teron Armstead is listed as questionable. What else is new? He didn't participate in practice all week. But that being said, the coaches have said that they're optimistic about Teron Armstead and Alec Ingold participating this week. So that would be great. I have a feeling Teron will probably go. I don't know how well he's going to perform with the injury. But the fact that we only elevated Jackson Carman, we only elevated one offensive lineman, does give me hope that he'll play. Because right now, if Patrick Paul had to be our starting left tackle, then our only backup tackle would be Jackson Carman. And I feel like we would probably have to elevate somebody or sign somebody if Teron Armstead wasn't going to go. So I'm hoping that means that Armstead will play. Especially because we're not really sure with Isaiah Wynn. He's still listed as questionable, had limited participation all week in practice. And I know the coaches did say that Isaiah Wynn wouldn't be given the starting job back when he does come back, whether it be this week or next week. But the Dolphins website lists him as questionable. ESPN lists him as straight up out, so we'll see. So only having 3 backup offensive linemen total, if Teron Armstead doesn't play, I feel like that's giving me hope that Teron Armstead is going to play, because I feel like we wouldn't go into this with just 3 backup offensive linemen total. I feel like we would sign somebody, elevate somebody. That's just kind of how I feel about that. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at our practice squad now. I mean, we got guys like Ryan Hayes, Chasen Hines, Barry Matos, who I'm not crazy about at all. But I feel like if Teron Armstead wasn't going to go, I feel like we would have elevated one of those guys just to have another backup offensive lineman. Because like I said, if Patrick Paul had to start, then Jackson Carman would be your only other backup tackle, and then Andrew Mayer and Lester Cotton would be your only other backup offensive lineman, period. So I feel like we probably wouldn't put ourselves in that situation, especially if Isaiah Wynn isn't going to play. So I feel like either Armstead or Wynn is going to be active. I don't think it. I don't think we were only going to go in with 8. So that's just kind of my prediction. Alec Ingold has had limited participation in practice all week, so hopefully he can go. Kendall Fuller is still going to be out with that concussion. Interestingly enough, Patrick McMorris might actually be able to go. He's still listed as questionable, but had full participation all week, so hopefully we'll have him today. That would be nice. But the Patriots are debatably even more beat up than we are. A lot of questionable players. Darian Lowe, their starting left tackle, is listed as questionable. Didn't participate in practice Wednesday. Had limited participation Thursday and Friday, so we'll see. Christian Barmore, I mean, their D-line's really beat up. Christian Barmore didn't participate Wednesday or Friday, but it's listed as it's not injury related. It just says other, so I'm not really sure what that means. I don't know if he's sick. I don't know if it's a personal thing, so we'll see. But they are missing a lot of edge rushers too, a lot of D linemen. Roy, their backup nose tackle, is listed as out. Dedrick Wise is questionable with a foot injury. Didn't participate Wednesday or Thursday. Had limited participation Friday. Kyle Duggar, one of their starting safeties, is questionable with an ankle injury. Had limited participation all week. Keon White and Anthony Jennings, both with knee injuries. Limited participation all week. Questionable. Cole Strange, same thing. They're guard. You know, I mean, Christian Gonzalez with a hip injury had limited participation Friday. So, I mean, they are very beat up. Yeah, Jesus. As far as their moves go, they did elevate Tight end Jack Westover and linebacker Keyshawn Banks. So that probably gives us a bit of insight. They do have a linebacker also inactive or questionable today. But yeah, they're really beat up as well. But as far as like the actual Patriots go, I mean, their defense still has some pretty dangerous people that you still have to contend with. You still got Unique Ngakoue, so they can still get after the passer. Especially if Armstead is going to be out. Ngakoue is not what he once was, but even still. And I feel like some of these questionable guys have to play. Like, Jesus. I feel like they'd be making a bunch of moves if all these dudes weren't going to go. But they do still have some dangerous stuff. Their defense is still solid enough. And on offense, you know, Drake May is looking a lot more dangerous than Jacoby Brissett, that's for sure. You know, big arm, athletic. And they do have a pair of running backs, Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson. They've both been very solid. Receiving core is all right. Demario Douglas, Keyshawn Boutte, Kendrick Bourne, even Jalen Polk has been decent. Javon Baker kind of needs to get used a little bit more, but I do like him. They got some tight ends, Hunter Henry, Austin Hooper, who is dealing with an injury but is going to play, Jaheim Bell, and like I said, they did elevate Jack Westover. You know, so they do have some guys. I mean, we should be able to take them, though. Especially if their D-line is as beat up as it is. I think that's going to help with our offensive line being kind of beat up at the moment. Hopefully we can continue to run the ball. Hopefully Tua can continue to get more and more back on track, get Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle involved. But really, I want to run that ball. Like, that's been the strength of our offense. And hopefully our defense can start getting back on track. I want to play some complimentary football, like, really bad. Because, like, at the beginning of the year with Tua out, our defense was kind of keeping us in games. But now our defense is kind of the bigger liability than our offense. So I'm hoping that we can kind of turn that around and start playing complimentary football. We have been doing a little bit better with the penalties, which is great. Hopefully we can continue to work on that. But, yeah. Anyway, my throat's killing me. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. If you liked it, appreciate that like button. If you have any questions or comments in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.